Yesterday, we looked at the Quanticocap Dashboard and the importance of such tools for an active trader. That video spawned lots of questions, mostly around how the dashboard works and whether its predictive power could be demonstrated. Today, I want to follow up with an example of the dashboard, showing how it can be used with a trader's playbook, focusing on the cues. For those that don't know, the QQQ tracks the NASDAQ futures more broadly, and the ETF is heavily traded each day. In this session, we're going to learn how a trader identifies probabilistic price levels using the Quanticocap dashboard and how we gain confidence in taking directional positions on the cues as the US trading day plays out. So that we can understand the different widget measures in the Quanticocap dashboard, I've taken a photograph of a subset of my dashboard from yesterday's US day trading session. On the top left, you can see the gamma chart of the Qs and the SPY ETF. To the right, we have a zone identified QQQ candlestick price chart. Wow, that's a bit of a mouthful. And down at the bottom left, we can see the Vanna exposure graph. Our discussion today is going to focus on these things. And while the dashboard does so much more than just measure gamma walls and Vanna exposure or pinnings, it's this assessment we want to explore deeply today. Before the US cash session opens and all hell breaks loose, we mark up our charts based on VWAP ledges. Now, this is an activity that I will explain in another video because it's entirely nuanced and quite complex in its own right. We also look at our exponential moving averages and identify possible playbook scenarios for the day. To avoid bias, a good trader will have both a bullish, a bearish, and a neutral set of scenarios. So let's take a look at the cues from yesterday. And while it's already happened, we'll narrate it and then use that to backtest the dashboard. Okay, so you can see here the index opened, the QQQ's ETF opened, and it like grabbed down here and had a liquidity grab. It went long. And you have this explosive candle that's like quite scary for a lot of traders at the open. For some, they love it. Now, if you didn't take that candle, yeah, I mean, if you went short, it might have hurt you. But if you didn't take, I mean, it would have definitely hurt you. But if you didn't take that candle, a good place to go in here will be around about this change of character that you see here. Yeah, it'll come back, and then there will be a developing trade. It's what I call the developing trade, and volume starts to come in on the 21 EMA flow. Now, where's it going to go? Well, it's likely to break that top. It could go to this point, or beyond. So what a trader does is before the market opens, we identify these areas, these high resistance, high probable support areas, support and resistance areas. And if all plays out well, we would expect the cues in a bullish scenario, I mean, there is a bearish scenario as well, but in a bullish scenario, will track and try to touch and move around these resistance levels. And it is that which we use throughout the day to know whether we are approaching a level, preparing for resistance, or breaking through. Now on to the Quanticocap dashboard's first massive feature to benefit. It's able to do all the VWAP ledge analysis and pinnings for us. And you can see where it has identified various zones of support and resistance. That will give us insights into how to tactically play this day well before it gets going. Now, this planning becomes our daily strategy, our playbook. And even for traders who have the ability to identify these potential support and resistance price zones, this is still a very useful feature of the dashboard because it allows us to double check our own assessments independently. Now we have the playbook established, the day kicks off. And just like the pre-market strategy or planning work that we've done, the Quanticocap dashboard has a big role to play in what we do. We can monitor the development of gamma walls, which we know are core for capturing bullish and bearish market liquidity. Let me explain for a moment. Absolute gamma exposure in the context of the Qs refers to the total sensitivity all options have on this ETF and across all strikes. It's an aggregate measure of all outstanding options, regardless of whether they are calls or puts. And these gamma walls act to emphasize support and resistance zones we've already identified, even if they shift. Monitoring the change of gamma alone is a little bit challenging because we can't really appreciate whether a gamma wall is having a magnet pull effect or conversely a magnet resistance push effect on QQQ price. To appreciate this tactical impact of the gamma wall, we can observe VANA. VANA is a second order Greek that measures the rate of change of delta with respect to changes in applied volatility. Quite complicated. However, when applied to the gamma wall concept, implied volatility often increases as market makers anticipate potential price fluctuations and increased hedging activity. A higher VANA value near a gamma wall can further amplify the effects of the wall. So we have this mini rally to the gamma wall, and then VANA, of course, is heating up. But also, if you notice on the chart here, the VANA or the slope of the VANA direction changes. In fact, it pulled back as we approached the 350 strike gamma wall yesterday. And this shift gives the trader a warning that a bull trap may be forming. And we know after yesterday, that's what happened. Nice. Very nice. And there you have it. A deeper explanation on the Quanticocap dashboard. But this is just the tip of the iceberg in what the tool can do. There is so much more to it, so many other functions that help the trader plan, prepare, and trade. So many things that we've reserved a 2-day event in Dubai to take you all through it. On the 24th and 25th of February, we're going to go deep into the tool, deep into index strategies, and demonstrate how the dashboard can assist you successfully trade each day. Thank you.